All right, Shalom. First and foremost, giving all praise to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachakwadash, for the Spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elders and the apostles at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and blessings to the hopeful elect. Shalom to the men of the Lord, prophesying, preaching, and teaching in the highways and byways in sincerity and in truth. Shalom Barakatham. Shabbat Yirah. Coming back at you and go into Revelation 18 and just various topics of the things that are just kind of going on uh, throughout the news. So I pulled up Blacklist News here to go in on just some things that are going around in the world because uh, we're living in a time where, man, it's the prophecy is speaking. It's louder than ever. Let's read through a couple of these. It says Australian military to enforce. Australia calls in military to enforce lockdown. So for all of y'all idiots that thought that doing what they said, taking their medical advice, and I have to say it that way because you know what I'm speaking on. Um, all you idiots that thought that was going to be the end of it, that they weren't going to push it to the next level, then y'all should be pissed off right now, man. All right, because they duped you again. All right. America is known for doing this. They said, property taxes, sorry, not property, payroll taxes, back in like around World War II. They said that was temporary. Here it is. All right, it's 80 years later, and you still have payroll taxes. Not only that, you pay more taxes now than you did then. So that guy has always lied to you, man. When it came to like why they going into Afghanistan and the Patriot Act and they need the ability to spy on you. This is temporary to catch terror. It's all cap, man. They all lied. All right. And now there basically is no privacy. There's a microphone in every cell phone, a video camera on every cell phone, every computer, and all these big tech companies have access to it. And y'all slowly conceded to these guys. And it's no different here with this lockdown thing. All right. I'm going to read a little bit of Revelation 8:18 to put this whole thing in context. This is 18:1. It says, "And after these things I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird." All right, that's a very strong analogy, man. When you liken it to just like a field of vultures and ravens and just uh, things that thrive on death. All right, unclean birds, every foul spirit. Verse 3. This is one of the main points. It says, "For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies." Now, this is one of the reasons why you see Australia here, another Edomite nation, led nation, all right? Because Babylon represents America, for you brothers that don't know. Um, you see Australia here following suit, all right? There's something called the image of the beast, which is basically this idolatry of Romanism, all right, the Roman Empire, all the gods and deities that they worship, and which is ultimately Satan, disguised as various gods, all right. It says the next one is see video Biden admits to wanting nationwide mandates. See, you see, at first they tried to tell you like, please do it, and then they tried to guilt you into doing it. They say, "Oh, people gonna die. Senior citizens are gonna die if you don't." Right? And then And then once uh, they convinced a bunch of people to do it that way, they said, well, don't y'all want to go back to normal? Don't y'all want things to resume, to go back to where they were? And this is what it takes to do it. And now we're finding out that it didn't work. They're what they call a different variety of you know what. And now they're talking about mandating it, all right, which is what they intended to do the entire time, all right. They try to ask first and get you to consent with it, but then if you don't, they just take it, you know. That this place is got a, you know, how can you niggas stand being here, man? Goodness gracious, let me get Isaiah 32 real quick because that made me think of it. Let me Isaiah 32:5, it says, the vile person shall be no more called liberal, nor the churl said to be bountiful. All right. So the vile person is Esau, Edom. All right. He's known as the vile person. When you read Job, I believe that's the 7th chapter. The vile man, you know, in the bushes. It says, no, the churl said to be bountiful. And the churl is basically a very scandalous scoundrel, you know. All right. And that's what these people are. And one point, they were all about liberalism. That's why that's the spirit that word liberal is there, right? Because under liberalism, they've duped you into thinking that it's about freedom and choice and this and that, and you know, the pursuit of happiness and all of these buzzwords. This what they call I believe they call it neuro linguistic programming, NLP. They use certain key phrases that jive with your psyche, that sets off certain bells in your head, you know, and they convince you with all this rhetoric, this this bold, smooth speech that they're fighting for you, but all in all, man, they're looking to destroy you. And you read Sirach 12, it says that they're looking to throw you into a pit, even though they stand by you, they're looking to overthrow you. All right. It says, verse 6, but the vile person will speak villainy, and his heart will work iniquity, to practice hypocrisy, and to utter error against the Lord Yahweh, to make empty the soul of the hungry. All right. And he will cause the drink of the thirst to fail. All right. So this is hypocrisy, because when all hell breaks loose and people start dropping dead, they're not going to have anything to say about any of this. All right. Nothing. So y'all can't trust this devil, man. You know. It says the instrument also of the churl are evil. He devises wicked devices to destroy the poor with lying word, even when the needy speaketh right. We're speaking right. We have to watch our speech, certain words we say on the internet. All right. Why and because because everything that's good or righteous is looked at as evil in this society, and everything that's evil is looked at as good, or they're trying to make some kind of excuse for it. All right. Look at all types of these alternative sexual lifestyles. All right, that's heavily pushed, especially on our men, and definitely children. All right, this place is this place is, man. Look, so going back to read a little bit more of these. Um, Effective synergy for a model for successful local resistance. There isn't going to be any resistance, but there will be, because the scriptures speak about it. and I'll get that real quick. Uh, in Second Esdras, because we know uh, there's going to be insurrections. All right, where is it? Yeah, Second Esdras 15 and 16, 15 and 15. I'll start at 14 actually. Second Esdras 15 and 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. All right, and this is basically what this is. It says, let this article serve as an example that there are concrete, tangible, effective things that can do to regain control over their local communities, of which education is a critical component. You can choose to wring your hands, scream, and shout and run about, or engage in proven solutions that make a difference. And ultimately, what that's going to mean is violence, because Esau is not going to just let you take over the school system and change the history books. Try to go to Texas and have a school do their own thing and start teaching about slavery and stuff again, man. What's going to happen is they're going to shut you down. They're going to say they have the legal right to shut you down, and if you don't shut down, eventually police are going to show up. When you don't comply, that's what it means. It means violence. That's what this all sugarcoating and beating around the bush shit is, man. Is who's about it? Who's about that blood? And that's ultimately what it's going to lead to. All right, going back, Second Ezra 15 and 16, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, and they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. A man shall desire to go into the city and shall not be able. So this is talking about the time of trouble, and it's talking about violence and infighting. All right, and this is the beginning of it right here. More prophecy, man. All around us, family watches in horror as massive cop kicks handcuffed woman in the face. And I won't show it on here because I'm not sure on YouTube, but I happened to see the image of it. It was a big ass Jake, that cop. That was a cop, man. He kicked that bitch in the face. I believe it was the Edomite woman down there. But you notice Esau's got something to say about cops kicking somebody in the face all of a sudden. When it's Jake, all right. That's his worst nightmare, man. It's for Jake to finally stop killing each other and to turn on Esau. That's his worst nightmare. All right. It says the Department of Justice just illegally gave green light for employer forced, you know what, medical advice. You know, I'm gonna just call it that. And I got an email from my job saying, they're not gonna force us to or mandate this medical procedure uh, yet. They use the word yet. So hey, it could come a time where they force my hand. I got to leave my job, and that's gonna be what it is. That would be beautiful. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I feel like I've gained so much riches just sacrificing that for the Heavenly Father, man. Because you know I I uh I just can't see myself, you know, bowing down to this man, knowing that he can't be reasoned with. All right, when you read Sirach 12, it start at verse 10, you clearly see the nature of this devil. Read Habakkuk 2 and 5. You know, you should be happy when that time comes because that's part of your temptation. Everyone has an hour of temptation. You know, and and that's the test that we have to pass when the Most High is going to deal with us. There's a precept the brother had brought out. Give me 1 second. Um, yeah, it's John. It was let's see, John 12. Um, yeah, I'll start at 25 actually. It says, "He that loveth his life," John 12 and 25. It says, "He that loveth his life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal." And man, I hate this place, man. Every day you got to work up and work for somebody else, man. Your spirit is just not in this place, man. They want you to have all this ambition and drive, and I used to have that in this world, man. But more and more you go into the truth, you see how much wickedness is going on. You see that all of your efforts and all of your energy is just to further the enterprise of the wicked. Everything you do, it furthers this place, man. You can't win, so that's why you get vexed. You lose the ambition to want to contribute in this place at your job or whatever. That's how you start to feel because you realize that Esau's got this whole thing on lockdown, man. There's no righteousness in this place, man. All right, you can start your own business and do this and that, but ultimately, man, he's taking those dollars, he's taxing the hell out of them, he's recycling them and doing even more wickedness with them, and the scriptures speak about the wise man, you know, that oppression would drive him mad, because we have the wisdom to see what's going on. So these things, it leads to us hating this place, man. We hate the job, even if it's a so-called good job, even if it's a good paying job, you know. My job is decent paying, but like I hate this place, everything about it, Even these little victories you get at work, they try to do these things to appreciate you and all of that, man. And it's all empty and hollow, man. You know, and you start to resent everything. All right. And so you should hate this place. You should be happy about that. Because when my job made that sent out that email saying, we might mandate a certain medical procedure, then that's beautiful for me. Shit, because I've been looking for an excuse, and the Most High is gonna make a way. Um, it says, let me read verse 25 again, John 12 and 25. He that loveth this life shall lose it, and he that hateth his life in this world shall keep it unto life eternal. If any man serve me, let him follow me, and where I am, there shall also my servant be. So I'm following Yahweh Shai, man. Whatever that cost me, it cost me. Even if that cost is death, so be it. Because something's got to change in this place, man. If this place continues on, there ain't gonna be no humanity left. All right, the earth is gonna be damn near destroyed. All right, it says, "If any man serve me, him will my Father honor." All right, so I'd rather be honored by the Most High and suffer on the short term. All right, than to placate Esau and his bullshit. Everybody going with the whim of what's in the media, and it's all witchcraft. You know, it says, "Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. But for this cause came I unto this hour." So, in other words, you know, we knew what we signed up for, man. All right, you can pray and say, you know, how about Shimmy Hawashai, please deliver me. But at the end of the day, we knew that this day was coming. We signed up for this. We knew that we would be tempted. We knew there would be coming. There would come an hour where we get put to the test. All right, and ultimately we gotta suffer through it and endure. It says, "Now is my soul troubled, and what shall I say? Father, save me from this hour. But for this cause came I unto this hour." And this is Yahweh Shai speaking, man. It says, "Father, glorify thy name." Then came there a voice from heaven saying, "I have both glorified it and will glorify it again." All right. The people, therefore, that stood by and heard it said that it thundered. Others said, "An angel spake to him." All right. And there's going to be angels' voices speaking again, man. When that portal opens up, when the Most High starts unleashing these plagues, when the barrier between the spirit world, I forget what movie or TV show that was, but the barrier between the spirit world and the real world got really thin, and certain spirits can kind of creep through, and all types of crazy shit started happening. That's about to be a reality here, man. When that time comes, man, all right, y'all are gonna be y'all are gonna be bugged out, man. Y'all gonna hear the voices of angels thundering. All right. The beginning of it is these so-called UFOs showing up, which are the chariots of the Most High. All right. But eventually, that the stuff that you see on sci-fi is going it's gonna seem like fiction. All right. You know, there's a saying that says the truth is stranger than fiction, and that's getting ready to be very, very true. All right. But that's basically it on that, because you can see it here. The Department of Justice just illegally gave green light for employer forced medical procedures. Now, the thing is illegally is important because the scriptures, we know that this guy is unjust in all that he does, and we said we were going back to what was it, Isaiah 32, say he was going to speak all of these things, um, but it would all be hypocrisy, you know. He was going to say one thing and then he was going to do another. When you read Daniel 10, and I'll go to it real quick. I believe it's Daniel 10. This look was more stout. Daniel 7, Salakia. This is Daniel 7. Here's the 10 horns again. It says, Daniel 7 and 20, it says, and the 10 horns that were in his head, and of the other which came up, and before whom 3 fell, even of that horn had eyes and a mouth that spake very great things. All right. Whose look was more stout than his fellows. All right. So that word look goes into vision. Azab. It goes into vision, look, vision, appearance. All right. And what was part of that? That was all the rhetoric they told you about freedom, pursuit of happiness. All right. Life and liberty. All these things in the Constitution. All right. That was part of this thing, man. And now look at what they're doing. They illegally gave a green light to allow employers to force these medical procedures, you know. So moving on from that, Dubai to launch drone box to reduce police response time to crimes. Yeah, this is getting ready to get real, man. You niggas ain't gonna be able to hide you out there in the hood when y'all trying to pick up arms. When Esau's got drones with infrared, night vision. Some of them gonna be armed with weapons. Esau don't even gotta risk his own life to take you niggas out anymore, man. He just gonna put the robots to work. The new FBI initiative will put hate crime quotas on local law enforcement. Now in effect, Washington law prohibits no-knock warrants and limits federal militarization of the police. Let's see. Israel to start boosters on Sunday. Medical company ups 2021 revenue expectation from 26 billion to 33 billion. Goodness gracious. That's over 7 billion. That's over 25% jump in revenue year over year. And what is it all tied to? Things that the media is telling you, oh, it's imperative that we do this. Please, please do this. You're gonna die if you don't do this. Other people are gonna die if you don't do this. And then to hell with it. You know what? We're gonna mandate it. Now that you don't want to listen, we're gonna mandate it. This whole thing is a bag, man. All right. It says China offering cash subsidies to couples for making more babies due to population decline. Because Moab, you don't know what the hell you're doing, man. You don't know how to rule. If you know anything about Moab, the Chinese, they a while ago they did a one child only policy for everybody for years and years and years to combat the overpopulation. Despite them being too stupid to spread out, they're all congregated in cities. You know, the out of the top 50 cities in population, the majority of them are in India and in China. They don't, with all that land, they don't have the sense to spread out, and they have all this land that's not populated, but they think a billion people is too much for the land that they're in, and that's just not true. But what happens when you go against the law, statutes, and commandments? The scripture said, "Be fruitful and multiply." All right, then major problems start to happen. All right, the family dynamics change. All right, and you get to a point where people get programmed to where the amount of money that they feel like they need to earn, it drops because they only have one child. All right, so it's more than just the population decline. There's all types of other things that decline when you don't follow that commandment, which is to be fruitful, man. And I'm not saying brothers, in this society to have kids or anything, because as we know, this place is getting ready to be destroyed. But in general, Moab doesn't know what the hell he's doing, man. All right. And so now he's trying to get his population back because it crashed. His population crashed because that wasn't the answer to overpopulated cities. The common sense would just tell you to spread the hell out, not reduce the amount of kids you have. What kind of stupid idea is that? Reduce the amount of kids that you have. You're gonna lessen your race of people when you have the land to accommodate them. But y'all niggas just want to be congregated in cities. See, China just wanted to have a better control over their population. That's what it was, because they're very effeminate leaders, and it's very easy for people to secede from them. All right, that's why they have tensions with the other people close to their nation, like the Koreans and the Taiwanese. They seceded because leadership is whack. Even Hong Kong started following Esau when he showed up. He didn't start. They didn't say, "Nah, we're gonna follow the China." They started following more Esau, man. That's not the here nor there. I'm just speaking on that. It says France fines Monsanto for illegally acquiring data on journalists and activists. What the hell else is new? My Pillow employee beheaded in broad daylight near Minneapolis. Oof, that's judgment right there. 55-year-old woman was beheaded in broad daylight Wednesday in Shakopee, Minnesota, a suburb of Minneapolis, Salakia. Goodness. And Shakopee, that's a Gadite name. So all the judgment that happens on this place is perfectly justified, and that's beautiful if you ask me. Shit. Prepare now, global supply chains at risk. Yep. How outbreaks and cyber attacks and natural disasters are threatening the global supply. Yeah, the global supply chain is very, very frail. A very strong supply chain would mean all of the food and the produce is locally sourced. Meaning if all hell breaks loose in California, that ain't got shit to do with Kansas City or Florida or Texas. But that's not how it's set up. 80% of all the food, they're all grown in certain parts and regions of the country. So when that part of the country goes belly up or disaster hits that place, the entire food supply gets compromised all over the place, man. And that wouldn't be the case if if the sourcing of food and everything else and vital uh, needs to the city and infrastructure was sourced locally. But see, America, they, I mean, they're just the wicked, man. They don't know how to rule this place. You read, I'll get Proverbs 29 real quick, just to hit that point home. Proverbs 29:2, it says, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. All right. So ultimately, this is just a lack of leadership. This is a lack of strength. They take shortcuts for in the sake of capitalism and profit margins, and ultimately, what it's led to is a bunch of people being poor. Virtually, there was a middle class. Now there's not even a middle class. There's just the rich and poor, basically, and a larger number of people becoming poor and a smaller number of people becoming very, very, very rich. And we all know that that ain't sustainable, man. All right. One of the blessings of one of the great examples of ruling a kingdom righteously when you're rich is during the time of King Solomon, man. When even his servants looked like they were kings, man. They were so decked out. Everybody was eating, man. Everybody. All right. It wasn't no, you know, we getting all this gold and this and that. It was a period of peace. So we see Syrian insurgents guilty of Red Line 2013 sarin chemical attack. Study finds. Here we go. More of this bellicose warmongering. More cowbell. The Federal Reserve officials decide that more inflation is the answer. Hyperinflation is setting in too, man. When you read James 5:3, it speaks about the gold being cankered. It's basically likened unto rust. Try not to keep this too long, so I'll get some precepts. But I wanted to harp on Revelation 18. So, lucky I haven't been able to read very much of it, but you see, Ecuador abruptly revokes Julian Assange's citizenship on suspicions of fraud. We all know the U.S. is at play for that. They want Julian Assange very, very badly for the shit that he's leaking, because the scriptures speak about the tongue falling upon themselves, and Esau being made bare. That's WikiLeaks is one of the means by which that happens, man. I was doing a lesson the other day going in about how Esau he's been made bare. He really can't hide anymore. All he can do is distract you. You know, when you're naked, man, and there's no clothes, you can't you you can't do anything about that unless now that your clothes have been stripped away. The only thing you can do is hope that something else distracts people away from looking at you. It says millions protest passports across Europe. Yeah, millions, millions. So you don't think they're going to implement that MOTB? It says NYC to offer a $100 incentive for medical procedures starting Friday. Well, they're doing everything they can to enslave you into this place. But let's read what the end of this place is going to be. This is Revelation 18:4, and it says, And I heard another voice from heaven saying, Come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, man. So that voice, man, that voice really is speaking now through the men of the Lord, through the prophets. All right. And we're telling you to come out or withdraw yourself from this place, man. If they want to fire you for not complying with this image, the worship of this image, man, which is all of the bullshit rhetoric that they're speaking on, feminism and being a quote unquote alphabet ally, and Black Lives Matter and all this bullshit, man. If they want to fire you for being against that, then so be it, man. Or for going against the uh organization that's recommending certain medical procedures, then so be it, man. Let them fire you. It says, for her sins have reached unto heaven, and the Most High hath remembered her iniquities. That's how wicked this place has gotten, man. That's how wicked, that's how bad it's gotten. It says, reward her, even if she has rewarded you, and double unto her according to her works, and the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. That's why it says up here, come out of her, man, because if you understand how wicked this place is, man, how much wickedness is going on, and the Most High said He's getting ready to reward her double. That's why He's telling you to come out. That's why the prophets are out there on the street warning you, man. Because all of these prophecies, all these things you see, every single one of these stories lines up, man. There's nothing out of the scope of the Holy Scriptures, man. You know, brothers like myself, we may or may miss certain things or miss certain precepts, but you know, all in all, the whole body is gonna all be caught. Somebody's gonna catch it, the right precept. Somebody's gonna bring out the right topic, and all in all, it's the word's gonna come out. You know, but all in all, the scriptures are all encompassing, man. We have the 100% truth in this thing. All right, collectively speaking. All right, so it says, verse 7, how much hath she glorified herself and lived deliciously? So much torment and sorrow give her. All right. So those plagues are coming back, man. Like I said, that portal's going to open up, and these beasts, newly created, certain creatures that only existed in folklore and uh and old stories and tales, sci-fi, all of this shit, man, it's coming. All right. And that's going to be before the thermonuclear missiles hit this place and just completely burn this whole place with fire, man. Utterly. You thought what the Most High did in Egypt was big. What He did in Sodom and Gomorrah was big. He's allowed basically thousands of years of wickedness, you know, including us, allowing us to be a partakers of that wickedness. He's allowed thousands and thousands of years of wickedness all the way to this point where we are today, and He's gonna make an example. All right, out of the most wicked of that nation, just like He did in Sodom and Gomorrah, man. So think about how much time it's built up and how bad this is gonna be. It's gonna be unimaginable because we know the Most High. He likes and appreciates theater. All right, the drama of a good story. It says, so much torment and sorrow give her, for she had said in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow and shall see no sorrow. All right, so that goes to the pride of this place, and that's every single one of you goddamn Americans, you so-called Americans, which most of you are Edomites. A lot of you, a lot of us are Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, and everybody that's under that banner of American. Hey, get ready for a heavy and harsh judgment. And Lord willing, I'm of the number of the elect that stays withdrawn from this place, man. Because I'm not trying to be a part of these plagues, you know. And if the Most High have mercy on me to be a part, I'm gonna laugh my ass off, man. All right. Verse 8. This is the last one I'll read, and I'll shut it down. It says, therefore shall her place come in one day, death and mourning and famine, and she shall be utterly burned with fire. For strong is the Lord Yahweh who judgeth her. All right, so in one day, all of these plagues are going to hit this place, man. And it's going to be sudden. People are going to be bugging the fuck out. and then when it comes to fire, that's going to happen within an hour of those missiles hitting, man. So, you know, with that, I'm going to end it there. You know, his place is clearly through. I just wanted to get that, share that with you, Akim. So hopefully our brothers were edified. Call Halal Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai Bahashem Rachakwadash Wa Abba Babal Shalom.